Okay, everybody, welcome to the Wednesday webinar. Great to have you here. If you're watching on replay, we appreciate the time. If you're with me right now, I appreciate you hopping on today. And I just have a short message this week that really came to mind. I was writing an article for my column in the Green Sheet and looking at where we at here at the fourth quarter of 2019 and thinking about for my own business too, but thinking about how can I set and how can you set up 2021 to be extremely successful for yourselves. And really the name of the game, in my opinion, one of them is client acquisition, right? So we want to acquire as many profitable clients as we can. And profitable is certainly a key word. So we can be writing a lot of deals, writing a lot of business at interchange and 5 and not making any money, right? So we want to focus on profitable clients that we can bring on board to build out your portfolio. So the article I just wrote was on creating new distribution strategies. And I want to talk about this idea of branching out your business and building out these distribution strategies. So the goal of client acquisition, of course, is to attract, qualify, convert, keep as many clients and merchants as we can, and repeat the process, right? So this is a stages that we go through when we acquire new customers. And I've been talking about this on prior webinars where we really want to look at, what is the low-hanging fruit within our business that we can improve to acquire more customers and focus on those customers that make us more money, right? So there's that marketing, lead gen, attraction phase. We want to qualify them and make sure they're a good fit for what we're offering them. We want to convert them and close them and bring it on board and deploy them and board them, get them activated. And then we want to keep them in the portfolio and in the mix. And we talked about a lot of different ways how we could do that, educating that customer and staying in touch with them and automating follow up with those clients. There's a lot of great software out there on the market today that you guys can take advantage of. And then we just want to repeat that process. So when we talk about client acquisition, that's what I'm talking about. And what we're really wanting to do when we're thinking about building out new distribution channels, and I hear this from guys all the time, they're stuck selling and marketing in the same hyper competitive verticals that we're all in, right? So if you're out selling restaurants and you're out selling hospitality, or you're out selling, going door to door down the street, everybody else is doing that stuff, right? Everybody else is using pretty much the same old worn out tactics. They're either selling maybe cash discounting today or free rate analysis, or if I don't save you money, I'll pay you X, or I'll give you a free terminal. I'll give you, now it's online ordering. It's all pretty much the same tactics that I see out in the marketplace. So one way to avoid that, if you're stuck in that pattern, that doesn't mean that pattern won't work, right? There is gold. If you make enough calls, you get enough appointments and pitches and demonstrations, you're going to close business. So, it is still being done, and it's still being done effectively. It's just a lot harder to get those numbers up where you want them to be. So for me, if I was out there in the marketplace today, and I'm going to share some case studies with you in a moment, I'm looking for opportunities of how I can leverage one to many opportunities, right? So I'm looking to find a way with a relationship, a joint venture, a partnership, a sales group, whatever that I'm working with, where I can leverage that one group or relationship and I can branch out and reach many merchants. And, the old way is the direct to merchant way, where we used to do it. When I got in the business, I did it the old way, right? So, processors would go out and set up banks, or ISOs would go to banks and be their processor. A customer would come into the bank would refer the customer. The guy goes out, meets with them face to face, and closes them, right? That's still going on all over America today, and that's still an effective model. There's just a lot of competition out, right? Face to face selling has been disrupted currently with the virus. Are we ever going to go back to face selling? Of course we will. that will never be replaced, because as merchant services gets more complex, payment processing gets more complex, there's always going to be value to have someone locally that will go out and meet with merchants. So I'm not saying that's going to go away. What I am saying is there's a finite amount of time in your day, a finite amount of potential prospects you can reach if you're out on the street and you're selling face to face. And some of the other models, the old appointment model, I did it for many, many years. We go set an appointment for a rep goes out on the appointment, and we sell the deal. So that's the old way in my mind. That doesn't mean it's not working. It's just the old way of doing sales. And some guys are very comfortable with that strategy, and they're doing very well with that strategy. The new way, the way that I look at it today, is through distribution channels, right? It could be joint venture partnerships. I do quite a few joint ventures with people where I'll put up the money, or I'll invest in them, or I'll provide some infrastructure for them, and they are going out and being the distribution arm of the company. ISVs, we hear a lot about this, software integrators, building into APIs. That's an area that I'm excited about. Strategic partnerships that you can put together, or inventive ways to find prospects, inventive lead generation strategies. And there's a lot of those out there now with Facebook and social media and LinkedIn and software things that we are even playing with in my organization, where we're reaching out, running people through an automated marketing system. So by the time it gets to somebody, they're pretty much pre-sold, right? And if you're not looking at any of these things, you need to be, right? Because eventually it will catch up to you. You can only stick in the same model for so long. Things are going to evolve, and things are evolving quickly with technology because of the current situation that we're in. So if you want to set up 2021 the right way, you need to start thinking, you've got a couple months here, about new ways that you can build out these distribution strategies for yourself. One strategy for ISOs is agent partners, right? That's how an ISO distributes, an indirect sales channel. They go out and recruit agents. They have a pretty high cost of acquisition, and that's how they board merchants. And what you're seeing a lot of ISOs doing today is they have a direct sales team. They have a salary team. They might have a call center. They have software vendors and ISVs, and they have an agent channel, and they might have an affiliate channel, or a banking channel. So they're really looking at their business, and they're coming up with multiple strategies. And that's the same thing that you need to do in your business. So we're looking for distribution ideas. And what I would do, and this is what I highlighted in my article, is I would identify natural partners for yourself. So if you're in a specific vertical, and I would certainly encourage you to focus on and become an expert in a vertical or a niche market. It just makes it easier, because you can really build out that offering and build out a bundle of products and services that really make you you're providing a lot of value to your end user customer. If you're just running around saving people money on processing and giving away free terminals, that's great, good for you, but you're not really adding a ton of value. The next guy behind you that's willing to undercut your price is going to take the business away from you, right? There's no real exchange of value occurring in that transaction. You need to look at those natural partners based on the verticals and the products that you're offering. You want to develop that partner's role in the process. What are they going to do? What are the expectations of that partner? What are your roles and your expectations for both of you? You want to set that distribution partner up and develop and deliver the resources they need. So if they're a referral partner, an affiliate partner, a software vendor, whatever it is, you need to give them the training that they need and the resources they need to get those potential customers over to you, or to give them what they need to close that potential customer on their own. And then you need to be able to certainly be able to support those distribution partners that you set up. So the key is, we want to create a relationship where it's a win-win for everyone, and we want everyone to have a vested interest in this venture's success. So, it happens all the time in the ISO world. When I used to work with ISOs and we recruit a lot of sales partners, your recruiting part was pretty easy if you had a good program. It was getting that sales partner activated, learning your systems, producing business for you so everybody could benefit from the relationship. So a lot of people sign up as sales partners, but they never really activate and they never really submit business. So that's the difficult part if you're looking at that distribution model with sales partner. Now, in your Be Life training portal, I have an entire program on how to recruit and hire and build out a sales channel. It's called Empire Builder. Feel free to go through that. There's interview checklists, compensation plans, agreements, ads, everything is there if you're looking to build out local partners. And that certainly is still a very, very good way to grow your portfolio and grow your book of business. I like partners that are affiliates, referral partners, and also we have a lot of brokers and sales partners on our personal or point of sale financing products. So let me give you some examples of personal case studies. For instance, these are the kind of relationships that I look at today. Now, a lot of you might not be able to do something like this, but you could do it on a smaller scale, right? And this happened to me a lot when I had partners here when I was 15, 20 years ago running an office here in Texas. A lot of times I'd bring a partner on, I'd give him appointments, have him go out and sell. And the next thing you know, he's going into business for himself, right? So we were training my competition for the future. And I realized what would work in a lot of cases is if that guy was thinking of going out on his own, why don't I set him up? Why don't I do a JV partnership with him? I'll give him the infrastructure. I'll invest money in his endeavor, and we'll come out to a split that makes sense for everyone and let him go out and open up his own business. So I did a lot of joint venture partnerships with potential sales agents that I had. Many times they would go off and try to do it on their own and they would fail. They didn't have the money, the capital, they didn't have the infrastructure. They'd come back and come to work for me again. But a lot of times I'd put money or invest money in those people to get them going. So I do have done that over the last few years with several groups where I might buy their portfolio. One we had $250,000. I bought their portfolio. I gave them infrastructure, healed them from a cash position, and then that partnership could go out and build the business up. And that worked out very well. And that partnership is going very well today. I had another one where I invested $150,000 in an organization, a direct investment, and they were able to go out and close more business. So you need to think that way yourself. Are there joint venture partnerships if you have the capital? Maybe you don't have to invest capital. Maybe you can invest knowledge, expertise, your processing relationships that you can leverage with some groups and say, look, I see that you're dealing with small business owners. Why don't you add credit card processing or merchant services to your mix? And these are people like we've talked about in the past, CPAs, bookkeepers, commercial insurance guys, commercial alarms, advertising sales, web commerce, web design. They're all over the place. So you could bring your expertise to them and close those deals and do a JV partnership with those groups. That's always a great way to do it. ISVs are a great way. So depending on who you're working with, your ISO has some ISV channels that they could work with you. They've got a payment gateway that you can integrate into a software system. I do a lot of the consumer finance point of sale stuff. So we had a recent opportunity with a dental software, and this company built out dental software, and we put our financing solution and integrated it into their dental software. So when the practice got set up with the dental software, and this provider already did their credit card processing, everything else, they already had that in place. They're working with a large ISO to do that. We put in point of sale financing. So now when that doctor got set up, we had the opportunity to say, hey, if you got Care Credit, fine, but we can approve the declines that go through Care Credit or the things that you don't get approved right through your patient portal. And we integrated that right in there, and that's been very, very successful. So the software vendor is actually selling our services, and we're giving a revenue share to that software vendor, just like he gets in merchant processing. We had another recent API integration. This is another perfect example where there's a client portal where customers log in to get their activity and their reporting, and we built out a financing option in that client portal with that software company where that client could log in, and based on their MCC code, they would receive an offer that said, hey, would you like to offer financing to your customers? Give us a call. And that would direct into my team, and we would close that merchant for the integration partner, and everybody earned revenue off of all that loan activity for those specific customers. So those are just ideas. If you're in payments, or you're doing gift cards, or you're doing any of the other stuff based on your vertical, you could go out and find those software packages that are in that vertical and try to build out an integration partnership with them. I remembered another one I did many, many years ago when I was still doing a lot of payments. We had a vendor that sold time clock software, and we had a distribution, they had a distribution deal through Office Depot, and every customer that bought would get a welcome packet for their time clock software. And we did a piggyback mailer in that welcome packet that offered merchant processing services. So that's another direct mail piece, and everybody's emailing now. Direct mail probably is making a comeback because they're not getting as much mail, but that would be like a piggyback mailer that you could do. You could do that with trade associations as well, mailing out their new members, their new welcome kits, et cetera, offering them your product mix. Maybe it's working capital, credit card processing, whatever it is. The other one is big for me, trade association JVs. We do a lot of those with our financing programs, especially around home improvement, air conditioning, HVAC services, plumbing services. So you can go to that association, offer them a program for all their members, and the association gets a little revenue share off of all those referrals. So this is what you need to be thinking about, building out your distribution channels. And you can do it if you're a one-man shop or if you're a bigger shop, but think about how you can leverage the one-to-many opportunities, and where can you get creative this next year coming up and start to even planning it right now. We're about to hit a slower period here in December for a lot of guys, beginning of January. So how can you take that time and effectively plan for 2021? And building out these distribution channels might be part of your overall strategy. So I hope this helped you today. I hope it got your creative juices flowing. We will see you next Wednesday, and we'll get this up to everybody for the replay in the group. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.